Yolanda Cristina Gigliotti, best known as Dalida, was an Egyptian-Italian singer and actress who performed and recorded in more than 10 languages including Arabic, Italian, Greek, German, French, English, Japanese, Hebrew, Dutch and Spanish. In 1961 she acquired French citizenship upon marriage, while maintaining her original Egyptian and Italian ones. Dalida ranks among the 6 most popular singers in the world. Her sales figures today would amount to more than 170 million albums worldwide. Twice honored with the World Oscar of Success of the Disc, she is the only European singer to have won this Oscar at least once. Her 30-year career debuted in 1956 and ended with her last album in 1986, a few months before her death. Her death led to an iconic image as a tragic diva and renowned singer. She received 70 gold records and was the first singer to receive a diamond disc. Biography, early life and beginnings. Yolanda Cristina Gigliotti was born in Cairo, Egypt. Her family was from Sarastretta, Calabria, Italy, but lived in Egypt, where Dalida's father, Pietro Gigliotti, was first violinist at the Cairo Opera House. She was the middle child between 2 brothers, Orlando and Bruno. Dalida's early life was spent in the district of Shubra, where she attended the Scuola Tecnica Commerciale Maria L'Ausiliatrice, an Italian Catholic school. In 1950, Dalida participated in the Miss Ondine beauty pageant and won the title, and shortly after began working as a model for Donna, a Cairo-based fashion house. In 1954, at the age of 20, Dalida competed in and won the Miss Egypt pageant, and was crowned Miss Egypt. It was then that she was spotted by French director Marc Dugostin and, much to the reluctance of her parents, she moved to Paris on Christmas Eve of the same year with the intention of pursuing a career in motion pictures. It was about this time she adopted the name Dalila, which was soon changed to the more familiar Dalida. Dalida collected 19 #1 hit singles to her name in 4 languages and has a long list of top 10 and top 20 hits in French, Italian, German, Spanish, and Arabic, and accumulated myriad top-selling singles and albums largely in France, Italy, Germany, Belgium, Spain, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Austria, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Greece, Canada, Russia, Japan, and Israel, spanning over 40 years. 4 of Dalida's English-language recordings gained moderate success primarily in France and Germany, without being widely distributed in the UK and US markets. Dalida's mother tongue was Italian. She learned Egyptian Arabic and French growing up in Cairo, and improved her French after establishing herself in Paris in 1954. She later achieved command of the English language as well as conversational skills in German and Spanish. Dalida also had the aptitude of greeting her fans in basic Japanese. She was considered as a pop and music icon in Japan, and her concerts there were met with almost unprecedented enthusiasm. Once during a concert in Japan, Dalida felt ill and could not continue performing. The organizers expected an enraged reaction due to the cancellation of the concert, but when Dalida came on stage and explained to her fans that she could not perform, she was met with great applause and her name echoed everywhere. She promised to hold the concert again, a promise which she soon fulfilled. Career, 1956 to 1975, Dalida's singing career started in Egypt, when she was discovered by Cherif Kamel, host of the hit parade at the Gezira Sporting Club during the early 1950s. Dalida's quest for a career in French cinema proved to be of limited success. Instead, she began taking singing lessons, and was booked as a cabaret act on the Champs Permel Liza copywriters, which proved successful. Performing the song A Permel Trangari or Parades in a variety show at Bruno Coquatrix's unregistered trademark recently opened Olympia Theatre, Dalida was introduced to Lucien Morris and Eddie Barclay, who played a considerable part in launching the Starletta unregistered trademark's career. Morris was artistic producer of the popular Radio Europe 1, and Barclay an established record producer. After signing a recording contract with Barclay, Dalida unregistered trademark's debut single Madonna was promoted heavily by Morris, and was a moderate success. However, The release of Bambino in 1956 would prove to be even more triumphant. It spent 46 weeks in the French top 10 and remains one of the biggest-selling singles in French history, and for its sales Dalida was awarded her first gold disc, presented on September 17, 1957. The song Bambino echoed everywhere in France and was a success even beyond the French frontiers. In the same year, she would also support Charles Aznavour at the Olympia. The follow-up single to Bambino, the exotic-sounding and mesmerizing Gondolier, was released in the Christmas on 1957, was also a great success, as were other early releases such as Come Prima, Ciao Ciao Bambina, and a cover of the Drifters. Unregistered trademark Save the Last Dance for Me, Garde-moi la dernière danse. These classical songs mark the first phase of Dalida's album and maintain their charm even today. Dalida toured extensively from 1958 through the early 1960s, playing dates in France, Egypt, Italy, and the United States. Her tours of Egypt and Italy spread her fame outside of France, and Dalida soon became well known throughout Europe. However, she waited too long before entering America's music scene, and though great names of the American music industry wanted to introduce her to the United States, she refused. In 1961, Dalida performed a month of shows at the Olympia in Paris, with each selling out completely. Shortly afterwards Dalida embarked upon a tour of Hong Kong and Vietnam. Throughout the 1960s Dalida would frequently perform sellout shows at the Olympia, and international dates became more frequent. In December 1968, she was awarded the Ma Copyright Dale de la Pra Copyright-Cidence de l'Art Copyright Publique by General Charles de Gaulle, the only person from the music industry to have received this medal. The early 1970s became a transitional period for the singer, highlighted by some of her most successful singles. After gaining a keen interest in academia in the mid-1960s, she chose to sing songs with more profound lyrics. She tried to probe into her inner self and declared that she would sing only those songs which have a meaning for her. Bruno Coquatrix was dubious about Dalida's career evolution, and was hesitant to book her for a series of performances in 1971. Dalida hired the hall herself, and her show was met with an impressive public response, thus forcing the world to acknowledge that a new and more powerful performer had emerged in Dalida. In 1973, a French version of the Italian song Parole Parole, originally performed by Mina, was recorded by Dalida and her close friend Alain Delon. The song became a big hit and was the #1 single in France and Japan. It was played consistently on French radios, at the request of listeners. The follow-up released in 1974 G L'Amoroso and B-side Il Venait d'avoir 18 ans reached #1 in 9 countries, and sold 3.5 million copies in Europe. The way Dalida interpreted these songs left people amazed. Touring would follow this period of unprecedented sales, awarded with the first-ever diamond disc. In February 1975, French music critics presented the singer with the prestigious Prix de l'Académie copyright My Deux Disques Français Section A's. 1976 1987, 1976 re-recording what is widely regarded as the first French disco single, Je t'aimais. Around the same time, the popularity of the variety show in France was soaring, and Dalida made many television appearances during this period, not only in France but across Europe. In 1976, she recorded Salma Ya Salama, based on a traditional Egyptian folk song which, due to its chart success, was translated from Arabic into French, Italian, and German. It was amongst the first ethnic fusion hits in the world. Part of the lyrics are based on an old Egyptian folk song about homesickness and celebrating the Egyptian nation. As was the Hebrew song Hin Martov sung Word Perfect. 1981 marked the release of Rio do Brasil, and several dates were played at the Olympia in Paris, emulating her successful 1980 tour. On the night of her first performance she became the first singer in the world to be awarded with a diamond disc, in recognition of her record sales which, at that point in her career, had exceeded 86 million. She was therefore much ahead of American singer Madonna, since she was the first person to receive this success, thus paving the way for women to deliver powerful performances. Dalida spent much of 1982 and 1984 on tour, releasing the album Les Petites Mots in 1983, which featured hit singles Lucas and Moi sur Scarni. The album Dali was released in 1984, and was accompanied by the release of several singles, including Soleil, Porti d'Ige Tame, a cover of Stevie Wonder unregistered trademark I Just Called to Say I Love You, and Kalimba de Luna, originally recorded by Tony Esposito. All three achieved moderate chart success, and her next 1986 album, Le Visage de l'Âme, would become her last album of completely new recordings. Other hit performances of Dalida include The Lambeth Walk, both in English and in French. The song Je suis malade, written by Serge Lama and made into a success by Dalida, reflects the singer's personal torments and unhappiness. The emotions with which she sang the song is unmatched even today. At the peak of her success, an obsessed fan tried to kidnap her in Canada by using a hammer but did not succeed. Undaunted, she continued to deliver success after success, namely Laissez-moi danser, Baissez Mucho, a Marmaignuri, a cover version of a Permel Dith Piaf's La Vie en Rose, Born to Sing / Moi sur Scarni, amongst others. Dalida underwent 2 major ophthalmic operations in 1985, forcing her to put her career on hiatus. The fear of her childhood days returned as she again had to have an operation on her eyes. The stage lights started to trouble her. In 1986, she would play the role of a young grandmother in the Yusuf Chahin film Le Sixième Jour, for which she received favorable critical response. Her last live performance took place in Antalya, Turkey, in 1987. Personal life. Despite enormous career success, Dalida's private life was marred by a series of failed relationships and personal problems. In January 1967, Dalida took part in the Sanremo Festival with her new lover, Italian singer, songwriter and actor Luigi Tenco. The song he presented was Ciao Amor Ciao, which he sang together with Dalida. But stressed, Tenco failed despite Dalida's performance. Tenco allegedly committed suicide on January 27, 1967, after learning that his song had been eliminated from the final competition. Tenco was found by Dalida in his hotel room with a bullet wound in his left temple and a note announcing that his gesture was against the jury and public's choices during the competition. Only days earlier, Tenco's wedding to Dalida had been announced. 1 month later, Dalida attempted to commit suicide by drug overdose at the Prince of Wales Hotel in Paris. She spent 5 days in a coma and several months convalescing, only going back to the stage the following October. In December 1967, just after her first suicide attempt, she became pregnant by an 18-year-old Italian student, Lucio. She decided to abort but the surgery left her infertile. In September 1970 her former husband Lucien Maurice, with whom she was on good terms, committed suicide, shooting himself in the head. In April 1975, her close friend singer Mike Brandt leapt to his death from an apartment in Paris. He was 28. Dalida had contributed to his success in France and she had been the first to visit him in hospital after his first suicide attempt in November 1974. In July 1983, her lover from 1972 to 1981, Richard Chanfray, committed suicide by inhaling the exhaust gas of his Renault 25 car. Death. On Saturday 2 May 1987, Dalida committed suicide by overdosing on barbiturates. She left behind a note which read, "Love I missed insupportable. Pardonnez-moi." Legacy. Since her death, Dalida has become a cult figure to a new generation of fans. In 1988, the Encyclopédia Universalis commissioned a poll, which was eventually published in the French newspaper Le Monde, and which aimed to reveal the personalities who had the greatest impact on French society. Dalida polled second, behind Gare Copyright Na Copyright Ral de Gaulle. In 1997, the corner of the Rue Girardin and Rue de la Beauvoir in the Butte Montmartre, Paris, was inaugurated as Place Dalida and a large bust in her memory was erected. In 1999, a 3-CD box set compiling her greatest hits was released. In 2000, Dalida's longtime friend Charles Aznavour recorded the hit De la Scarni à la Seine, a joyful song of her life in France, and in 2002, the French government honored her memory with a postage stamp done in commemoration of the 15th anniversary of her death. In the same year, Universal Music Group released Dalida's early album releases in special edition packaging, with all of the tracks digitally remastered. Her output has also been the subject of various remix albums. Since her death, many of Dalida's hits have been remixed to modern techno and dance beats, topping the charts in various countries to this day. http www.infodisquefr-artiste-vents-php. In 1999 the play Solitudine Luigi Tenco e Dalida, written and directed by Maurizio Valtieri, was performed in Rome. In 2005, her life was documented in the two-part TV film Dalida. In the role of Dalida was Sabrina Ferilli. From May 11 to September 2007, the Paris City Hall commemorated the 20th anniversary of Dalida's death with an exhibition of her outfits and previously unreleased photographs. Discography: see main article List of Dalida songs for a complete international listing of all Dalida songs. See main article Dalida albums discography for Dalida's albums discography. See main article Dalida singles discography for Dalida's singles discography. Filmography: this is a chronologically ordered list of films in which Dalida appeared. Awards, honors and tributes. Honors: 1950, Dalida won the title of Miss Ondine. 1954, Dalida won the Miss Egypt beauty pageant and crowned Miss Egypt 1954. 1962, Calabrian Citizen of Honor. 1968, Godmother of Montmartre Street Urchins. 1977, Egyptian Medal of Honor. 1984, Dalida declined the French Honor la Copyright Guin d'Honneur Award, the highest order of France, marking the first time she ever declined an honor. Medals: 1968, Medal of the City of Paris. 1968, the French President's Medal awarded by President of the French Republic Copyright Raoul de Gaulle on December 5, 1968, representing the only time in history an artist has ever been presented with this honor by the President of France to date. 1968, Ruby Cross. 1981, Dalida was awarded a medal by then-French Minister of Defense Charles Hanu. Foreign honors: City of Grelhac Medal of Honor, 1980, Belgian Medal of Honor, 1984, Canadian Medal for Talent and Wisdom, 1985, Posthumous Tributes, 1987, Dalida was posthumously honored with a commemorative coin minted by the French Mint, Monnaie de Paris, issued in gold, bronze and silver, bearing her effigy. 1988, Dalida was posthumously honored by the International Star Registry, with the issuance of a diploma, awarded 3 years after her death. 1997, Dalida was posthumously honored by the city of Paris with a square named in her memory, named Dalida Square, located at the angle of Rues Girardin and Aubert-Jouvoise, in the 18th arrondissement of Paris, France. 1997, Dalida became one of only 3 women in France to have a statue erected to her, along with Joan of Arc and Sarah Bernhardt. 1998, Dalida was posthumously honored in Egypt in a tribute ceremony on October 27 in Cairo, and the Dalida Prize was awarded in her honor. 2001, Dalida was posthumously honored by the French government with a second stamp bearing her likeness, which was released by La Poste, the French postal service, as part of the Song Artist series. 10,157,601 copies were sold. 2003, awarded prize for Greatest Singer of the Century in France, based on 3 criteria: numbers of album and single sales, number of radio airplays and chart positions. Dalida was placed 3rd after Madonna and copyright Line Dion. In 2003 Dalida remained the #1 favorite artist in France. Polls: 1965 a FOP poll, favorite French singer, 1976 a Dalida was voted Woman of the Year in Canada, ahead of Jackie Kennedy. 1982 a Paris Match magazine survey revealed that Dalida was the only representative from show business to appear in a list of most influential French women. 1985 a Dalida was voted favorite French singer. 1986 a VSD magazine published a survey in which Dalida was voted favorite French singer. 1988 Eurosof's Encyclopædia Universalis, in a survey asking the French public which events had the greatest impact on the French public between 1968 and 1988, 16% of the French public voted the death of Ga copyright Na copyright Ral de Gaulle and 10% voted the death of Dalida. 2001 A EuroIFOP survey, Dalida was voted the most important female singer who had the greatest impact on French society in the 20th century, along with a Permale Dith Piaf. 2005 A Dalida was voted the favorite singer in 2004 amongst Italians, and held 7th place amongst the most collected musical artists in Italy. 2005 A Dalida was voted top 58th French person of all time in a survey sponsored by the France 2 television channel. The only women from show business which appeared in this list were Catherine Deneuve, Brigitte Bardot, Simone Signoret, a Permale Dith Piaf and Dalida. Honorific eponyms, geographic locations, a France, Place Dalida, Montmartre, Paris, a Quebec, Rue Dalida, Laval, K, Canada, Art, Jean Sobieski, Dalida, Magdi Crozet, Dalida, Michel Souvet, Dalida, Feminist La Nuit, Alan Aslan, Dalida, Funerary Statue, Alan Aslan, Dalida, Francesco Gallo, Dalida, FS 62, Dalida. Dalida in contemporary music. The Dalida song Born to Sing was covered in English by Dalida's longtime friend Shirley Bassey, released in 1986 as a B-side of a Tower Bell Records single. Although the recording has never been re-released, Shirley Bassey performed the song in 1995 during some concerts as part of her 40th anniversary world tour. Shirley Bassey's interpretation of Born to Sing is also sometimes titled or referred to as I Was Born to Sing Forever. In 1996, Car copyright Line Dion and Alain Delon performed the song Paroles on the 1996 New Year's Eve France 2 television program. In 1998, Sarah Brightman unregistered trademark S released the song There For Me, an English-language version of Fni, La Coma copyright Die. The song first appeared on her Time to Say Goodbye album, featuring Josa copyright Cura. It was also released as a single, with O Mio Barbino Caro as the B-side track. Often on her 2000/2001 La Luna tour, Brightman would perform this duet with Josh Groban, and this was included in the La Luna, Live in Concert DVD. The song De la Scarnia la Seine, by Charles Aznavour, from his year 2000 album Aznavour, 2000 is a tribute to Dalida. In 2000, Sarah Hon released a cover of the song Paroles in tribute to Dalida and Alain Delon. In 2002, an interpretation of the song Pour ne pas vivre seul, by Firmin Richard, was included in the movie 8 Femmes, by Frana Section Ozen. In 2004, the song Laissez-moi danser was covered by Star Academy 4 in France, under the shorter name Laissez-moi danser, in honor of Dalida. In 2005, Lebanese singer Grace Deeb released a cover of the song Helwa Ya Baladi, which reached #1 spots over the charts. In 2007, Spanish singer Luz Castle released the song 18 or plus or minus O's, a new Spanish-language interpretation of Tenor and 18 or plus or minus O's, the Spanish version of Il venait d'avoir 18 ans, in honor of French music, with entirely new Spanish lyrics, on her album Vida tar cube Zyka. In 2007, Italian singer Patti Bravo released the tribute album Sparoche Tipsia Portoi, in tribute to Dalida. In 2007, Lebanese singer Elissa paid homage to the Chinchus, covering her famous song, Helwa Ya Baladi. In 2007, Italian singer-songwriter Franco Battiato released the album Fleurs 2, containing the track Il venait d'avoir 18 ans, a cover in homage to the singer, performed with the participation of Persian vocalist Sapadi Resadat. In 2008, French singer Michael Latour covered the song Pour ne pas vivre seul, released on her album Cézanne copyright is La, in homage to Dalida. A live version of her rendition was also released on her live DVD Olympia 2008, and digital album of the same name, both released in 2009. In 2009, Lara Fabian released the tribute album Toutes les femmes en moi, containing an interpretation of the song Il venait d'avoir 18 ans, of which the former is in part tribute, and the latter in tribute to Dalida. In 2009, Arthena Music released the tribute album Unclipped de Toy, containing 4 tracks originally recorded in 1988 by David Hewson and dedicated to Dalida. In 2012, French singer Aimé Bent rendered homage to Dalida by performing 2 of Dalida's signature songs Ma Maignerie, and Moi sur Scarni on France 3's television programme Chabada. In 2012, the double album Fy unregistered trademark Elist Party containing a homage CD titled Ils chantent Dalida featuring covers of several of Dalida's songs, performed by French singers Aimé Bent, Christophe Willem, copyright Lani Sagara, Patrick Fiori, Lara Fabian, Christophe, Danny Brillant, and others, was released in the month of April 2013. G. Lamorusso stranded number 98 in the Belgium Top 1000 Listeners' Choice, Music from Motion Pictures and TV. The following Dalida songs have appeared in the aforementioned motion pictures or TV series. Theatrical productions. Several theatrical productions have been made about Dalida's life. In 1999, Sollicitudine Luigi Tenco e Dalida, written and directed by Maurizio Valtieri, was performed in Rome. Dalida, Un vie, directed by Rena copyright Simard and under the authorization of Orlando Productions, was performed from October 2003 to June 2006, in Quebec, Canada, and was shown in Beirut, Lebanon in May 2004. In 2005, the play Dalida, A Quoi bon vivre or Moida Maya, written by Joseph Agostini and Caroline Soriso, was performed at the Ateliers d'Art Centre in Montmartre. Biographies. Dalida, by Michel Delaine, A Permille d'éditions de l'Heure, 1962. Dalida, La gloire et les larmes, by Pascal Sevran, 1976. 25 Ans de Triomphe, by Christian Page, Delmas A Permille d'été, 1981. Dalida, by Christian Page, Tar Testofik, 1982. Dalida, Mon Amour, by Anne Gallimard and Orlando, A Permille d'éditions NRJ, 1984. ISBN 2-908070-01-4 and ISBN 978-2-908070-01-9. Lorsque unregistered trademark Amours unregistered trademark Envar, by Catherine Benauer registered trademark Tizar copyright Van, Michel Laffan, 1987. Correa, 1989. ISBN 2-86804-406-9 and ISBN 978-2-908070-01-9. Dalida, Mon Amour, by Anne Gallimard and Orlando, A Permille d'éditions NRJ, 1989. ISBN 2-908070-01-4 and ISBN 978-2-908070-01-9. Dalida Mon Amour, by Orlando, Hachette Litter copyright Ratcher, 1991. ISBN 2-7382-0362-0 and ISBN 978-2-7382-0362-5. Dalida, Histoire unregistered trademark Une femme, by Jean Frenner Section War Jocelyn and Jeff Barnell, Jean-Claude Latta S., 1994. ISBN 2-7096-1450-2 and ISBN 978-2-7096-1450-4. Les larmes de la gloire, by Bernard Pasquito, A Permille d'éditions Michel Laffan, 1997. ISBN 2-84098-301-X and ISBN 978-2-84098-301-9. Dalida, by Cedar Karsh, A Permille d'éditions Vade Retro, 1998. ISBN 2-909828-51-4 and ISBN 978-2-909828-51-0. Dalida, Mon Frère, to a copyright Criras Mesmar copyright Moires, by Catherine Reihart, Plon, 1998. Dalida, by Catherine Reihart, Omnibus, 1998. ISBN 2-259-00083-5 and ISBN 978-2-259-00083-3. Starport Outdoors, by Julie Thumain, Jep, 2000. Dalida, Enter Violon Amir, by Isaline, a Permil Editions Publi Book, 2002. ISBN 2-7483-2629-6 and ISBN 978-2-7483-2629-1. Dunilla Lascani, Jack Braque, a Permil Editions var Bene and a Permil Editions de la Courtine, 2001, 2002. ISBN 2-84869-007-0 and ISBN 2-913483-36-4. Dalida, Une Nouveau en Soi, by Michel Rault, Nota Bene, 2002. ISBN 2-89518-111-X. Luigi Tenco. Vita brevi morti di un genio musicale, by Aldo Fegatelli Colonna, A. Mondadri, 2002. ISBN 88-04-50087-5 and ISBN 978-88-04-50087-2. Ciao, Ciao Bambina, by Henri-Jean Servat and Orlando, a Permil Editions Albin Michel, 2003. ISBN 2-226-14298-3 and ISBN 978-2-226-14298-6. Dalida, by Catherine Reihart, Plon, republished 2004. ISBN 2-259-20180-6 and ISBN 978-2-259-20180-3. Da Euro Unregistered Trademark Un Rival La Euro Unregistered Trademark Autre, by David Lelate, Payot, 2004. ISBN 2-228-89904-6 and ISBN 978-2-228-89904-8. La Euro Unregistered Trademark Argus Dalida, Discographie Mondiale et Quotations, by Daniel Lezoeur, a Permil Editions Alternatives, 2004. ISBN 2-86227-428-3 and ISBN 978-2-86227-428-7. La Var Copyright Writable Dalida, by Emmanuel Bonini, a Permil Editions Pygmalion, 2004. ISBN 2-85704-902-1 and ISBN 978-2-85704-902-9. Mademoiselle Sucre S., Barclay, France, 2004. UPC 602,498,110,843. Dalida, La Femme de Coeur, by Jeff Barnell, a Permil Editions du Rocher, 2005. ISBN 2-268-05500-0 and ISBN 978-2-268-05500-8. Dalida, La Voce e l'Anima, by Gian Domenico Curie, 2005. ISBN 88-7641-687-0 and ISBN 978-88-7641-687-3. Top Dalida, a Permil Editions Paul Boucher, 2005. The Scene B000 G64FO. Dalida, La Voce, Il Suono, l'Anima, by Mino Rossi, Edizioni Francaia Corta, 2005. ISBN 88-89364-01-7 and ISBN 978-89364-01-7. Quasi-Sera, Una Storia di Tenco, by A. Montelanico, Stampa Alternativa Nuovi Equilibri, 2005. ISBN 88-7226-910-5. Da Euro Unregistered Trademark Un Rival La Euro Unregistered Trademark Autre, by David Lelate. Hello, a Permil Editions Jilu, 2006. ISBN 2-290-34567-9 and ISBN 970-290-34567-2. Ntayan to Dalida, a Permil Editions Ados Panos and 20 Anne Sanzel, 2006. Dalida Passioner copyright meant, by Ariane Revere, a Permil Editions Fava, 2006. ISBN 2-8289-0927-1 and ISBN 978-2-8289-0927-7. Dalida, by Henry Jean Savat and Orlando, a Permil Editions Alban Michel, 2007. ISBN 2-226-15218-0 and ISBN 978-2-226-15218-3. Dalida, Thermopylae Petites Euro, by Jacqueline Pitchell, a Permil Editions Carpentier Didier, 2007. ISBN 2-84167-504-1 and ISBN 978-2-84167-504-3. Dalida, Un Vibra la Copyright E, by Bernard Pasquito, La Kippel, 2007. ISBN 2-84187-955-0 and ISBN 978-2-84167-504-3. Dalida, Un Vi. By Jacques Pesses, Car Copyright Lena Jorgi, Emmanuel Pol and N.T. Bin, a Permil Edition Chronic, 2007. ISBN 2-205-06006-6 and ISBN 978-2-205-06006-5. Dalida, Le Temps de l'Irma, Fabien Lecca-Uva, a Permil Editions City Editions, 2007. ISBN 2-35288-046-7 and ISBN 978-35288-046-2. Luigi Tenco, ed ora Every Milkos da Fair, by Achor Taralo and G. Crazy, Arcana, 2007. ISBN 88-7966-431-X and ISBN 978-88-7966-431-8. Dalida, Cis Fans, Cis Amisant La Parole, by Claire Nar Copyright Rack and Car Copyright Drick Normie, a Permil Editions Du Rocher, 2008. ISBN 2-268-06580-4 and ISBN 978-2-268-06580-9. Mia Zia, Ma Tanti Dalida, by Star Copyright Famed Julien and Luigi Gigliotti, a Permil Editions Ramsey, 2009. ISBN 2-8122-0011-1 and ISBN 978-2-8122-0011-3. Dalida, Le Profil Perdu, by Jean-Manuel Gabot, a Permil Editions de la Belle Gabrielle, La Copyright Jean de Montmartre Collection, 2009. ISBN 2-917269-02-2 and ISBN 978-2-917269-02-2. Poor Dalida, by Colette Fellis, Flammarion ed., 2010. ISBN 2-08-069056-6 and ISBN 978-2-08-069056-2. Les Grandes Interprètes, by Jacques Persit, Fra Copyright Dow Copyright Rick Brune, Olympia Alberti, A. Claude Frigre, a Permil Editions Christian Pirate, 2010. ISBN 2-86808-274-2 and ISBN 978-2-86808-274-9. Rencontres avec une Permil Toile, by Jean-Claude Genel, a Permil Editions Enter des Mondes, 2010. ISBN 2-919537-00-8 and ISBN 978-2-919537-00-6. La Nuit de San Remo, by Philippe Brunel, A Permilditions Grasset, 2012. ISBN 2-246-75321-X and ISBN 978-2-246-75321-6. Ciao Amor. Tenko e Dalida, La Notte di San Remo, by Philippe Brunel, Transl by G. Vulpius, Rizzoli ed., 2012. ISBN 88-17-05518-2 and ISBN 978-88-17-05518-5. CA Copyright Théâtre en Mai, Un Samedi, by David Lelate. Hello, A Permilditions and Carriere, 2012. ISBN 2-84337-663-7 and ISBN 978-84337-663-4. Internet websites: Hit Parade France, Hit Parade Italia, Infodisc, Official Montmartre Tourist Information Authority, Dalida official website. See also: List of Dalida songs, Dalida albums discography, Dalida singles discography, French pop music, Italian Egyptians, Mononymous person, Music of France, Paris Olympia, best-selling music artists, Miss Egypt beauty pageant and title holders, Montmartre Cemetery, footnotes. References: Dalida, Mon Amour, by Anne Gallimard and Orlando, A Permildition NRJ, 1989. ISBN 2-908070-01-4 and ISBN 978-2-908070-01-9. Dalida Mon Amour, by Orlando, Hachette Litter copyright Ratcher, 1991. ISBN 2-7382-0362-0 and ISBN 978-2-7382-0362-5. Dalida, Histoire d'Euro Unregistered Trademark Une Femme, by Jean Fronner Section War Jocelyn and Jeff Barnell, Jean-Claude Latter S., 1994. ISBN 2-7096-1450-2 and ISBN 978-2-7096-1450-4. Dalida, Mon Frère, to a copyright Criras Mesmar copyright Noirs, by Catherine Reihart, Plon, 1998. Dalida, by Catherine Reihart, Omnibus, 1998. ISBN 2-259-00083-5 and ISBN 978-2-259-00083-3. Ciao, Ciao Bambina, by Henri-Jean Servat and Orlando, A Permilditions album Michel, 2003. ISBN 2-226-14298-3 and ISBN 978-2-226-14298-6. Dalida, by Catherine Reihart, Plon, republished 2004. ISBN 2-259-20180-6 and ISBN 978-2-259-20180-3. La Euro Unregistered Trademark Auguste Dalida, Discographie Mondiale et Quotations, by Daniel Lezoeur, A Permilditions Alternatives, 2004. ISBN 2-86227-428-3 and ISBN 978-2-86227-428-7. Dalida, La Femme de Coeur, by Jeff Barnell, A Permilditions du Rocher, 2005. ISBN 2-268-05500-0 and ISBN 978-2-268-05500-8. Dalida, by Henri-Jean Servat and Orlando, A Permilditions album Michel, 2007. ISBN 2-226-15218-0 and ISBN 978-2-226-15218-3. Dalida, Thermopylae Petite Tsar Euro, by Jacqueline Pitchell, A Permil Editions Carpentier Didier, 2007. ISBN 2-84167-504-1 and ISBN 978-2-84167-504-3. Miazia, Ma Tanti Dalida, by Star Copyright Fane Julien and Luigi Gigliotti, Ramsey, 2009. ISBN 2-8122-0011-1 and ISBN 978-2-8122-0011-3. Further reading. External links, official website Euro, Dalida Forever, official fan club website Euro, biographies, biography at RFI Musique, biography at Tar Copyright La Copyright Melody, Dalida at All Music, Dalida at Billboard.com, Dalida. Find a Grave. Retrieved August 28, 2010. Discography, Dalida. Discography at Music Brains, Filmography, Dalida, La Film Euro, Dalida at All Movie, Dalida at the Internet Movie Database.